All right. What about you, Matthew? You seem like very interested
I
today
am
on your
very into
beer.
this beer. I put this one on the on the event. This is a beer that was a gift from a good friend of mine. I'll tell you in a minute. Rhinegeist. This is a Cincinnati brewery,
Yeah.
and this friend of mine, Brian Weedman, he and his wife own that little sandwich shop, that George Bauer's Groceries that we did the live show from.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, I've found a new favorite sandwich there. They've got this roast beef caramelized onions thing. Oh my gosh. Anyway,
What show was that, Matt?
yeah,
Was
right.
it Pints and Quarts?
It was a pints and quarts episode, but I had the corned beef that time. Anyway, the Reuben. But this is their beer. This is I guess this is kind of their flagship at Rhinegeist. This is Truth IPA. He also got me a can of their rye pale ale, which is called Hustle. Cincinnati, as you know, is where the first game of the baseball season is always played. So they've always they'll be on Sunday night. So they've got Hustle. That's going to be, I don't know if it's going to be at the park or if it's just in honor of the baseball season getting ready to kick off here tomorrow, Sunday, day after tomorrow. So anyway, this is the Truth. It is grapefruit forward. I mean, the hops in the aroma are all citrus, all Pacific. You know, just man, it's bright. It's really fresh. He said his mom got this can at the brewery, got the 6-pack at the brewery. So I'm sure this is within a couple of weeks old. It's actually really good. I want to read the paragraph. It's like 3 sentences here. Hang in. This is on the can of Truth from Rhinegeist. It's going to make you want one if you don't already. Rare are moments of truth when you've struck that last match, belting out tunes with your friends, staring deep into the campfire, times when you feel infinite. Our truth is found in the scintillating brilliance of hops. Brewed with a nod to the Pacific, hops sizzle with tropical fruit aroma, grapefruit, and mango notes in a dry finish. And that is poetry, man. Poetry.
I bought a 6-packs from them. They had a number AO too that I got from them, which was nice.
Did you try the Truth?
Yeah, I bought a 6-pack from them.
Oh, did you drink
Well,
a 6-pack or you bought a 6-pack?
No, I bought it and drank the whole thing. Yeah.
Oh.
I
All right.
might have one. I might have a can yet. On the after party, gonna run upstairs and see. I might have a can yet.
Yeah. Well, it's really good. It is extremely bitter. This says it's 7.2% and 75 IBUs, but it is it dry hopped and every hopped, and they might have just sprinkled some hops into the canning line too. I mean, it is really it is really hoppy.
They have. I know they have Amarillo and Centennial in there, so you get a lot of.
Yeah. Well, that's where the grapefruit's coming from there, right? The Amarillo. But
I think
it is
four or five hops.
there is a nice malt balance to it. I mean, there's malt to it. It isn't all West Coast, but it's the kind of thing I could drink a few of sitting around the campfire or sitting around the webcam with you guys. So that's what I got to say about the Truth from Rhinegeist.
Cincinnati, yeah. Yeah, I've never heard about them until I was in Cincinnati last year. All right. Let's see who else. Charles, you were next.
Gil, I'm
Better
sorry.
be ready.
I got a quick question for Charles.
Sure.
Charles, you remember on Pints and Quarts we did that one episode about the distributors in Cincinnati, and like something a law changing in Kentucky that didn't allow them to come in.
Yeah, yeah, and that did get passed. Where if you're in that state, you can't own a brewery and distribute, but people who own breweries outside of that state can distribute inside that state. So they passed a law blocking that. And it was mainly intended to block, like, Budweiser from taking control of the distribution in that state. But this particular brewery Matt's got, as a side effect, they own some distributors in that state because they brew elsewhere. And now they're pretty much going to lose that business.
That's where I was getting, because I knew that name sounded familiar.
Yeah, which means that state is going to lose being able to get their beer.
Sucks for
Because
them.
right now no one distributes internally. So
Okay.
It's those things just bugs me to the core. It's just I don't understand.
They always backfire. Even if they say it's for some good cause, it's going to have ramifications that affect a lot of people.
Yeah, I wonder, and you know, we blame big brewers, but I wonder if that's the only true people who has interest in all this thing. I think there's more, you know, there are other.
Yeah, I mean, and it's just the state itself protecting, you know, they don't want the industry money going out of the state if it's being sold in the state, and that's what's happening with the out-of-state distribution owners.
So what's your opinion on that law?
Well, it's got good things and bad things. I don't really see a problem with people in other states being able to distribute if they happen to. If it's not illegal for you to own a brewery and be a distributor, as long as those two things take place in two different states, I don't really see too much of a big deal. But should that be legal with a three-tier system? I mean, why does it having one in a different state make a difference? Either you can only be one of the tiers, or you can't. Well, I don't, you know, so.
Right.
It seems to be a really muddied legal scenario all across the board, all across the country. It's different everywhere.
I mean, what's to keep them from just selling their distributors to a company in the guy's wife's name, you know, or his brother?
Yeah, they could probably end up spinning it off into somebody, you know, or one of them will move there and get their home address in that state.
Right.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.